What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of King Ross Present the Yeah, I Said a podcast, where we are expressing with our full capabilities. So they want us in correctional facilities. Brainchild of my child, I'm the dad half of this operation. As always, I am rocking with the best. My co-host, please introduce yourself to the folk.
Ain't no truth in the dare without consequences. Yeah, well, what's good, everybody? What's about having a good day, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. You watching on all the platforms, please share with your friends, family, enemies, your pets, aliens outside your door, all that stuff. If you watch on YouTube, please like, share, comment, subscribe, because if you don't, a whale's gonna hit your boat.
All right, so we starting off with the Moby Dick. Okay, cool. Um, I see. Last time I got on you about making a joke about if you don't, you might get shot. And the reason I did that is because sad reality is breathing in this country might get you shot. Um,
Mm,
we have a gun fetish, and
mm.
I say, people want to, if you want to, I'll beat you to it. Yes, I'm speaking through the eyes of a person who grew up in the glorious Empire State, land of the toughest gun laws. Um,
You'll
and
still
as
get
such,
shot.
yeah, and as such, no, I do not understand this country's obsession with guns. I do not. I do not understand the incessant wood writing of the Second Amendment. I've heard every angle. It's still you still can't make it make logical sense to me. Sadly, in Monterey Park, California, over this past weekend, and today is January 23rd, but over this past weekend, 10 people were killed, 20 injured, if I'm not mistaken, due to a mass shooting in Monterey Park. Um, Early reports, and I'm getting this from an article on the BBC. Sadly, I can trust BBC more than I can trust American media, but it was a semi-automatic handgun with an extended clip, which is legal in California. California has some really, really tough gun laws as well. Just ask Tory Lanez.
Blue state.
And this is sad. It is the deadliest mass shooting since Uvalde, where cops did nothing. So we'll talk about them later. They're doing a lot of stuff. So we'll talk about them later.
They're preparing for that
Um,
now.
yeah, this will not be a pork free show. Just so you know, this will not be a pork free show. But the shoot initially, because Monterey Park is majority, I think like 60-65% Asian, the thought was this might be a hate crime. To a certain extent, it was,
Yeah.
um, because the shooter was Asian himself. Um, and he committed suicide later when the cops found him surrounded his van with SWAT team, so on and so forth. But I go back to the very fundamental question I asked all the NRA supporters and all of the Second Amendment water riders and all that. We gotta have guns. So I'm just not even official numbers, just regular analysis, just plain old off the top of the dome. Who do you think has been killed with guns more? The intruder, the guys coming to rape and pillage your home and your family or burn your business. Who do you think got killed more? Because that's what you got the guns for, right? Protection. How many robbers did you stop? How many criminals did you kill that were life threatening versus innocent people that are now dead? This I just wonder if all this gun shit is actually what we think it is. Because now we got 10 more dead, right? And I know the other argument, of course, is well, it's illegal guns. And hey, what about illegal guns? That is a legit argument, but I have
No,
a hard time believing the
no.
great U.S. government can't do something about the illegal guns in this country.
They could. They make too much money.
On illegal guns?
Same way you make money off drugs. You tax it. Go ahead. Keep going. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, no, that was it. I'm just. This is the two things that we seem to continuously have to report about or talk about are two things I hate having to talk about: mass shootings, pigs killing people, or pigs doing crazy stuff.
Or
And
pigs
I'm
just
like,
being pigs. That's what you have a problem with. They could just be
I
standing
just,
there. You gonna have a problem.
I just don't, I'm just, it gets exhausting, and it's going past scary to exhausting. Like,
On to
there's a
normal.
lot, there's a lot going on to be concerned about, and we're going to talk about that because I didn't really dive deep into what you sent me in reference to Cop City until a little while ago. I was like, oh, this is a problem on so many levels. This is a problem, but we'll get to it. But in reference to this mass shooting, 10 dead, 20 injured, and it's ho hum. Like you said, it's sad that it's never going to be normalized,
But it's
but
normal.
right, right. It's not normalized, but it feels normal, and that's a problem.
So
I mean, I woke up to it. You sent me the info. I was like, you got to be shitting me right now. Nope, you're not shitting me right now. But what you thinking, man? What are your thoughts here?
I would love today to stop sending you to mean another one. And you not knowing what that means. Because that's what seems to happen. Um, I mean, yeah, it's another one. This is normal. And it's one of the cruel things that we accept here in America. And nowhere else in the world has this problem but us. That's why I said it could be solved. We're just not going to do it. Like I said, you look at your great fathers, on the across the water, they don't have this issue. They might have stabbing issues, but I'd rather take that.
Mm,
But but not really a gun problem. Not many people get murdered from guns, or especially mass shootings. So maybe we should take notes for our predecessors. But I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if it's relaxing to see that this wasn't racially motivated, or the typical suspect, or is it scary that now everyone is trying to put their hand in the cookie jar now? So now it could be anyone. It's like, yeah, America, we love it.
I just, yeah, I'm sending thoughts of healing to those families. I don't know how you can, but
We've been doing this for
because
how many years? Thoughts and
we'll
prayers.
see, because
That's not working. Who are we praying
the
to?
problem is, I mean, even beyond that though, there's it's it's empty, it's open ended, and it's empty because we both know, at least as it stands right now, there's nothing that's going to be done about it.
So what are we praying for?
That something gets done about it. But
Oh,
that's
but we've been doing that. Okay, that's
yeah.
and okay. We're all religious, but okay, cool. Faith
No,
is can be
I
a
mean, faith is
beautiful
a
and a horrible thing at the same time. Because faith is something you can't prove, right? But it's something you believe in. But and in this case, when it comes to guns, we have facts, we have proof. There's other countries that don't have this problem for a reason. But yet we are the number one by a long shot. It's not even close.
no, it's not.
It's not even close. Like we've had more mass shootings last year than days in the calendar year. I think it was damn near double. I don't remember the number. I just know it was more than the days in the year last year. And we're
But we
already to a great
also,
start this year. What? Go ahead.
oh, I mean, we have more guns than people. Like, what did you? And I'm like, it's just this when you break things. Okay, are you smarter than a 5 year old? Right. This
No,
again is like trying to explain it to a 5 year old. So
not a
guns are the
6-year-old.
problem. Guns are the problem, and the answer to the problem is more guns. If I said your house was on fire,
Add
and
gasoline.
what we're gonna do? We're gonna use a flamethrower. You're gonna look at me like, what? What? Why? What? This is getting dangerously close to the same argument. But what's scary is the fire reference makes no sense. You will have people argue you down that the gun argument makes perfect sense. Well,
Yeah.
the criminals out there, the criminals got guns. We got to have guns too.
And that hasn't solved anything these past few years. And not to mention, a lot of the mass shootings happen in red states where everyone has guns.
Do do do
I can see if this
do.
only happened in New York or Cali, whereas the laws are strict and it's all blue. Texas has had multiple shootings. Oh wait, the last big one that you just said happened in Texas. Everyone has guns, and I've been there for a little
Mm-hmm.
bit and I seen it. So hey, the guns ain't helping. This is not a gun store. I know the reference
Right.
is probably that. Like you say, you don't rob a gun store because they got guns. But apparently, our gun store sucks, and, and most of us are not trained. So yeah, it's not working, man. We gotta find another
Yeah.
solution. But you know,
It's just,
NRA has too many politicians and fooled so many of these citizens that this is what we need because without it, we're nothing, and the government's going to take over, even though they're already doing that shit. But it's okay.
I
But we
mean,
feel
yo,
safe with my pistol and my AR next to my bedroom.
got to pull up Morpheus here. You think that's air you're breathing? You know, like you 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 think you think that's, and if you get the Matrix reference, you understand I'm going there. But okay, you
Hey,
gotta have more guns. You think that's air you're breathing? But some other interesting news coming out of California, specifically out of San Francisco. No, it's not about the Niners. This is from an article from CNN. Committee in San Francisco has released an extensive proposal for reparations that includes a one-time payment of 5 M's, 5 million to each eligible Black resident. That is an amazing but amazingly problematic
right.
headline.
It said eligible.
Oh, it's so much there.
What does that mean?
Um,
See, when I hear that, that's
right. Are we what we paper bag testing? We blood testing? Like what we
yeah.
doing?
What are we doing? That's not specific enough. So what's the specifics if you know?
Right. But this was under the Human Rights Commission, was tasked to develop a plan to address the institutional, city-sanctioned harm that has been inflicted upon African American communities. So this is where the reparations conversation gets interesting. Well, not every city, a good chunk of American cities. Oh, free me, I got to go to the boondocks. Pay what you owe, Santa. Um, if it's not overt race traces back to slavery, you still have redlining. You still have things that can be proven
Yeah.
that were done to
Jim
Black
Crow.
people. So that
Yeah.
alone, you owe.
That's
The trick is
everywhere.
coming in. The trick is going to be trying to figure out how much you owe and then to whom. That's where this gets really interesting. And also said, the committee has no authority to implement its recommendations. Additionally, Director of the Economic Right, the San Francisco African American Reparations Advisory Committee said San Francisco Board of Supervisors received a draft 60-page proposal in late December and is expected to accept, amend, or reject it. No. Where's the money at? Now, what I did find is when I just Googled this to see what was what, I already found some counter arguments about it's gonna bankrupt. Oh, whoa! I want to hear it. I don't want
Oh
to
no,
hear it.
ain't nothing bankroll. I don't, oh yeah, I don't want to hear that.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, I
I
don't
want
want
to
to
hear
hear that.
it. Nah,
I don't
bro.
want to hear that. Bankroll who?
Zelensky walked
Ask
in
our brothers
here.
across the sea, Ukraine, how much if we bankrupt. Ask the cop city that we about to talk about if they bankrupt. They like, nah, get y'all printing money. I don't want to hear that shit.
Right. Zelensky walked in here, gave some hoot and holler. We can do it speech. We can beat the Ruskies. F communism, F
You
the
wanna know?
Russians,
You wanna know
and
something?
walked out the door with another 45 million. Walked out the door, came in like, yeah, we can do it. We can do it with your help. 45 billion.
You know what's something funny? 45 billion. I don't know the numbers of it. You could have used that money, divided that, and gave it to every black person in America. And then no one would have said nothing. That
But
could have been
what would our
recession
friend?
right then
I
and there.
see.
That ended the whole
Mm.
argument right there.
All right. So now, see, you gonna make me do this, ain't you? So if Ukraine falls to Russia and moves westward, that's a threat to everybody. What good is your money if the Russians invade? So you gotta stop Russian expansion, sir. Listen. I do not claim to be a geopolitical expert. I am sure there is some truth in that statement somewhere.
No, it's not. Whatever. But okay. Like I said,
We
okay.
don't.
So
We're not.
we're actually hoping Russia wins because I guess we're gonna talk about that too because they made a certain threat if they don't. So let's hope that they do win.
Right. All right. But that's the thing. You can't. Yeah. What good is the money? Well, it's like being rich right before the fall happens in The Walking Dead. Like, okay, you worth $10 billion, and then everyone turns into a zombie. Who cares?
I mean, this shit doesn't really matter anyway, but that's a whole secret. But we ain't gonna go down that
but
rabbit hole. But yeah.
but no, they're saying one time lump sum payment of 5 million would, can I quote, would compensate the affected population for the decades of harms that they've experienced and will redress the economic and opportunity losses that Black San Franciscans have endured
If you're
collectively
eligible.
as a result of both intentional decisions and unintended harms perpetrated by city policy. Like that is a beautifully written statement that encapsulates that. You could switch out San Francisco and put in damn near any major city in this country.
You could, but it's also the wording is beautiful enough to say unintentional. I heard that part, but we all know
Exactly.
that's
Like
not
so
true.
that says,
That's not true.
oh, it's very true because it makes up for, okay, there were laws on the books specifically aimed at affluent Black people, and beyond that, there are laws on the books that unintentionally after Black people. Here's 5 million to make up for both of them shits.
Ain't nothing intentional.
Okay.
It was intentional.
Oh,
But I digress. But either way, you can
yeah,
word however the
yeah,
fuck you want to word it. Hey, we mess y'all up. Here you go. See, I don't care. Show me the money.
but wow, this is
And show how people are eligible and uneligible. That's the thing that's
Lord.
still
I
bugging
mean,
me.
this is okay. Found it. To be eligible for reparations, San Francisco residents must be 18 years or older, having been identified as Black or African American on public documents for at least 10 years. I'm not okay.
Identify as
Um,
what? You can identify as black for 10 years?
just keep on and meet two of eight additional criteria, including having been born or migrating to the city between 1940 and 1996, as well as showing proof of at least 13 years of residency, having been incarcerated by the failed war on drugs, or being the direct descendant of someone who was. That I gotta take my damn hat off because this is acknowledgement of everything we've been saying. The war on drugs is bullshit. The war on drugs did not just affect the person who went to jail. When you go to jail, your family goes to jail. When dad is in jail, now you have a broken Black family.
And completes
So
the
if
cycle. Yeah.
by this measure, I would be eligible if I lived in San Francisco for 30 years.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Yeah, but my pops, your granddad wasn't around because what? He was out in these streets selling drugs, went to jail. By that measure, and it's wow. Just for a moment, man. Just for a moment, I got to give it up because this is comprehensive AF, and the sad reality is because it's so comprehensive and wide sweeping, I think it gets shot down. I want to be wrong. If there's any place it won't get shot down, it's Cali.
But if it does, then we're done.
Wow. Being a descendant of someone who was enslaved through U.S. chattel slavery before 1865. If your great 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 grandfather was a slave, now I don't know how that's gonna work unless they're saying, because I don't believe that was part of the expansion west. I don't think there were any slaves in Cali. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm reading this, I'm thinking it's more or less if you were a descendant of a slave, period, criteria.
So FDA. FDA.
Having been, yeah, high five, trick and sheet. Having been displaced between
Okay.
1954 and 73, or being a descendant of someone who did, being part of a marginalized group who experienced lending discrimination. There's the redlining. I, I, you prove that, they hand you 5 million. I'm not, and that's probably in the reality of the situation. That's probably shortchanging you, but 5 mil. I'm with it. And this also can be applied to damn near. And can you imagine if cities in the South did this? Oh, 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 oh.
It would be rejected that fast.
But it. Oh wow. So
When is
yeah.
this being looked at? You said December of this year or last year?
What was this? This was this year, sir. I believe you sent this to me, but this was this year.
So
So I'm not sure.
when are they looking to pass
It's.
this?
I
Or
mean, I'm not sure. I think there's. Let me see. I'm going through. And here we go. Chairman of the San Francisco Republican Party, of course, criticized the plan, saying the 5 million payments will put the city in financial trouble. It's getting old, and it's getting flimsy. It's getting old, and it's getting flimsy. Well, what about? So you can't. So 5 million is gonna be a problem. Zelensky walked his ass out of here with 45 billion. That wasn't a problem. Um, Rewind 2 years, and we found how many $1 trillion for the stimulus. That wasn't the problem.
you want $1 trillion a day. And
But
we've reached our limit
but
now, actually, supposedly.
right. But paying the people who literally built this fucking country, oh, we can't afford that. We can't eat. It's gonna be some financial troubles.
Yeah. It's not financial troubles, it's more of the
Mm-hmm.
psychological thing, admitting
Mm-hmm.
guilt, yada yada yada. Don't want to feel bad.
And,
Don't want to be treated
mm,
special than, your other counterparts and races, blah blah.
and and even the most liberal white person, the reality, like I said, you know who your real white friends and your white allies and accomplices are, because what's gonna happen immediately for some folk, no matter how cool, in the back of their mind, they're gonna be thinking, so you just gonna give them that much money because they black?
Yeah.
And what always amazes me is how, do you understand the shit we've been through just because we're black?
That happened a
Do you
while ago.
understand 5 million is a really chump change?
It is, but that happened a while ago. That was your ancestors. That were you.
Um, Also, there's been studies that shown if you put this very same scenario in a business sense, white people are all on board. It's hilarious. If they propose, I forgot how they worded it, but they said like person A borrows X amount of millions of dollars from a company, time passes, and da 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 da. They're like, oh, absolutely, you got to pay that back. When they put it in terms of, okay, slaves were used for free. Oh no, we're not giving that back. No one hears it. Okay, okay. So let's call a spade a spade. You have a problem when it's black people.
Yeah. That's nothing new. That ain't nothing new. Because
I'm just
if that
wow.
wasn't the case, this would have been happening.
As like I said, you find out who your allies are for real, man. When you've been neighbors with your white, when you've been neighbors with your white neighbors for 10 years, and everything's cool, and y'all go to each other's house for the holidays, and that's what's up, and they're an ally, da da da. All of a sudden, you pull up with the G wagon. All of a sudden, 2 months later, you moving out. You got yourself a nice house up in wherever, and they still there. Let's see if y'all still cool then. Let's see if y'all still cool then, because that's really gonna be the measuring stick,
No, that's
and
just
that's the
distance,
sad
man.
reality of it.
Just distance. You moved away. We grew apart. It's not because of that.
Nah, you can come by the you can come by the crib. You can come by the new spot. Help.
It's too
I
cold
got a
outside.
G I got a G wagon. I come pick you up. It's no problem.
I got a
No
backpack.
problem.
Can't go.
No problem. You know what I mean? It's a G wagon. I can drive through like 8 feet of snow. No problem. I'll be right there.
I'm team green. I don't like big trucks. The guzzlers.
Woo!
But yeah.
5 million though. Five M's. And I'm like, I gotta clap it up because the money is one thing, but the way this is worded and put together, you
Sounds
can
good.
switch. You can switch San Francisco for Atlanta. You can switch San Francisco for Birmingham. You can switch San Francisco for pick a city in the South.
Sounds good.
And I'm sure if you did, the price would be a little more than 5 M's.
It should be fine. It should be more than that everywhere. But hey, this is all talk. Let's see if it gets passed. It
Well,
sounds good.
you already got the Republicans yakety yakking talking about it's
That's
just gonna
well,
cost too much.
like I said, it will be a victory if Cali can pull this off. If it weren't for the fact that they are freaking sinking and living on a fault line and so damn expensive, I'd think about moving there. But since you got all
Listen,
that stuff, I'm good.
yeah, I'm about to see if I got any relatives that was in San Fran. Like, listen, fam, finder's fee. I put you up on it. You ain't even know.
this
Uh,
feel.
call it a finder's fee. You ain't even know. All right, so we're going across the water. We're going, made in China. So as of January 4th, this is from Reuters. Data is showing that there's no new coronavirus variant. And as I was reading the article, I was like, this is, and I'm like, what do we really? Which do you want? Basically, the World Health Organization is saying that there's an outbreak and China is underrepresenting how many people have died. Oh, I don't want to be on the side of tyranny ever. But when China was basically like, check this out, you stand in your effing house, end the story. We will lock you in this bitch. You staying in the house, fam. Everybody shit was in the up in arms. Bet we let you out then. Go ahead. Y'all want to go outside? Go outside. Now mofos is getting COVID and dying to the point of this. Stop me if you've heard this before. Funeral homes are being overrun. Um, this one guy reported an article like 4 people in his family died. That's just his family. One, I don't think a billion mofos need to be in the same place at the same time. There's probably a lot going on. Two, another question: why China, not India? But listen, which do you want? You want to be outside or no? Because when the Chinese government was like nailing your doors shut, and admittedly that is a major human rights violation, everybody was up in arms. I bet. Go outside. Now with this, yo, y'all not telling anybody who's dying over here. I don't know what we do. I don't know what to do. In the EU, the European Union, always like, check this out. We back on that other shit. Like, if you come over here from China, you need to have a negative test. So we back on that. But China ain't saying. It's just been, like I said, they're saying based on the article, there is underreporting of how many people are dying. And I don't know what you do if you're the Chinese government. Because we locked y'all in, y'all is bad. Understandably so. Go outside, you're dying. This is why we locked y'all asses in. To avoid this. What do you want to do? Sir? Sir?
I don't know. I'm just like that. It's the exact opposite from here. I think it was over-reported and the numbers was boosted of the deaths to get people to. So now there's like, yeah, we were good. Because that's what I think I heard a couple months ago or last year, China was good. They were doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, seriously, and I don't even think it's the new variant that's doing it. From
Right. They said there's no new variant. They said
it's
there's no
not a
new
new
variant.
variant. It's the same stuff that everyone got vaccinated for.
It's your
And
plain old Omicron,
uh, Omicron, all that boosters, all that shit. Yeah. And that's not saving you. That is not your savior, Kendrick voice. So I don't know what to do. Yeah. I guess you would have to go back to lockdown, but maybe not, nailing people's doors shut. Maybe you can do a little lockdown like we had here. Like I told you, stay home. People were mad, yada yada yada, and then it blew over. But then again, they have way more people, and it's way more congested. So I don't know.
It
I don't
just
know how to say.
I don't.
I don't know what's real, what's not. I'm pretty sure it's underreported because it's China, but I mean, I don't know what you do. Don't. I don't know where they are ranked in terms of vaccinated countries. Are they up there with the tops? Because if they're up there with the tops and this is still an issue, then that's a whole nother problem. Because this ain't even new
Right.
variant. This is the booster and all this stuff is supposed
This
to
a
protect you.
regular. This a regular
Right.
degular.
It's the regular stuff. We should be past this by now. I guess not.
I don't know, man. It's just, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. I'm being slightly facetious, but I'll be honest. I don't know what at this point.
I mean, damn
Actually,
too.
you know
That's
what?
why.
You know what? TV timeout. I do know. The problem, air quotes, is looking to the government for the answer. Now, I get it. Elected officials have a responsibility to the people. I don't know how many, I don't know how China's government exactly works. I don't know if they're elected officials or not. But I get to the average regular citizen, when things go left, you look to the motherfuckers you hired. Remember, politicians work for you. You
Unless
voted
you're
for them,
Russia
you hired them.
or North Korea. But
Sorry. Politicians work for you. So, because we didn't have a choice here when stuff got thick, we looked to, old Trump and Biden to figure some things out. What's up? Do we have an answer? This is what you're making the money you make for. You're a representative of the people. The people are hurting. What are you going to do? Now, that is the mentality of some folks. For me, it was all right, this is still a virus at the end of the day. You need to do all you can to what? Boost your immune system. What is the best way to do that? What other precautions can I take? Because I am not counting on the government. Nope, nope, and nope. But when you're in that situation, you're in that frame of mind, I do get where this can be stressful AF. Like, yo, you can't lock me in my house. Like, the fuck, you can't lock me in. Then on the flip, all right, I'm outside. Yo, there's people dying. I lost 4 people in my family. What you gonna do? Do something. What you there for? Well, I just
I guess the
and
grass
when
ain't green on the other side, huh? But
it's just when you
I
in that line of
mean,
thinking, I
it's
don't know
over
what to
freaking
do.
populated anyway. People are on top of each other. That's still probably the main issue, but you can't really solve that without either moving people or eliminating people.
I
Which
mean,
I'm not gonna go down this conspiracy rabbit hole. That's what they're doing, but I'm just saying that's the only way to really solve overpopulation is just either stop making people or just start offing people. And I don't know. Not going to conspiracy hole. Just saying. But they are vastly overpopulated, so it's real easy for outbreaks and stuff like that to happen. So what are you gonna do?
yeah, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, you do what you and this is a truism when everybody was beefing about the jab or not the jab or whatever. You do what you can to keep yourself safe. If you feel like getting a jab is what you need to do that. If that's the last thing you feel you need to do, don't do that. But at the end of the day, whether it's your own research based on the facts as you can find them, understanding how human biology and the immune system work, do what you need to do to keep yourself safe because at the end of the day, I, for one, do not always believe the governments have your best interest at heart. So you might want to.
Yep. But unfortunately, a lot of stuff that we rely on in everyday society is relied on the government. That's what we're
I
bred to
mean,
believe.
okay, because I'm about to say, there's nothing stopping you from growing your own food. There's nothing stopping you from growing your own herbs.
I think it's
Like you,
illegal. here. In some places, you can't do that without a license,
I mean,
or you
it
store your
depends on what
setup.
you're growing. But if
Yeah,
like
but
for
the fact,
instance,
see, that's the point. The fact that it depends on what I'm growing. Why should it matter if I'm growing it for myself? So why are you
because if
limiting
you're
me for
growing a
growing it?
coca plant,
I'm not talking
Tony
about. I'm talking about
Montana.
food regulation. I'm not talking about drugs.
Oh,
Yeah, you just
yo,
went Tony
Sam.
Montana on me, boy. I wasn't even thinking about drugs. God damn. I'm thinking about food. You
This
think
is a
about
coca
drugs.
plant. Like, yeah, you can't quite grow that in your backyard, chief.
I just no, I'm not talking about that. That ain't even crossed my mind. I was thinking about food because we're talking about food. I'm not gonna be eating cocaine. So yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Pablo. Let's go. Back to subject.
I
Or
can't be just
Bumpy.
growing poppy seeds, Sam. Like, nah.
Okay, Bumpy. Let's go.
But but yeah, it just at the end of the day, my thoughts are you gotta do what you gotta do to take care of yourself,
Agree.
and and don't. I would limit because I just think you have the potential to be setting yourself up for supreme disappointment if you're looking for this government to give you the answer. And I have been wrong before. Right now, we just talked about San Francisco probably giving some folks the answer. Careful on getting your hopes up, though.
That's potential. You're
Because
already getting kickback. Already. It's not easy. So,
because I
yeah.
mean, let's remember Special Field Order 15, if I'm not mistaken. It guaranteed 40 acres and a mule to black people in this country. That was the government giving us the answer. And shortly after, somebody, unalived Lincoln, that was revoked. That was the government giveth, the government taketh away.
Mm.
So just I get the frustration. I could only imagine what it's like seeing four, not one, not two, not three, 40 family members die. And the government's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
This is what you
I can only
want.
imagine.
I mean,
I can only imagine. But
but then again, you just said it to play devil's advocate. We was trying to get you in the house. You didn't want to be in the house. Granted, you took extreme measures to keep you in the house, which is probably why people were upset, which I would be too. Someone nailed my door shut. But we let you out. Fend for
China,
yourself.
China is wild, boy. Like China is, I have zero desire to visit China.
Yeah, me too.
China is wild because some of the
Man.
stuff, some of these videos you be seeing on TikTok and on Twitter, you like, is that real? Like, what is spraying people with green glowing goop? Like, what is? And if I just see the headline, what's going on in China? I'm not sure. I even want to know. Like, you messing around and have face huggers over there. I don't know.
Yeah. Man, clickers. Shout out to The Last of Us. But yeah.
Like, I got no desire to visit China. Oh,
Or
excuse
Australia.
me. Okay. But moving back to the states, as we've always said, there is Atlanta, and I apologize, my nose is itchy. There's Atlanta. Oh gosh, excuse me, and there is Georgia, and somehow this brilliant idea of cop, what is being affectionately called cop city, is being considered. Um, there is a $90 million plan to build a wow police and fire department training facility on land and a film studio. Allegedly, well, hold on, let me get to it. What they're going to do is build a training facility for police officers to practice urban suppression tactics and all of the fun things if you back the blue. A young man was killed there, and initially they're trying to say this young man. Let me get his name. Here's an article from the Guardian. Love the Guardian. Manuel Esteban Paez Terran, and he was a social activist, and allegedly he shot at a cop first. There's no body cam footage,
Hmm.
right?
That
And I just,
is the most wasted adventure I ever heard in my life.
by the way, this was done under KLB. This was done under when Keisha Lance Bottoms, the sister, was still mayor. They're cutting through the forests, but this
It's a
was done
government.
like this was in city plans apparently about 4 years earlier. So they don't do things on a handle whim. It was done before. But this was also part of, all of the part of the response to the Black Lives Matter protests, so on and so forth. So I'm trying. I just so many questions arise. Atlanta is 20% of Atlantans live in at or below the poverty line. You couldn't find anything better to do with $90 million. With every statistic easily at your disposal to see increased police presence does not decrease crime. What are we doing? So now I got to start going down the rabbit hole a little bit. Whose pockets are getting lined? What is the overall agenda? What's the desired outcome here? Because this is looking dangerously close to 60s and 70s California and US when you're trying to stop a black messiah. This is looking dangerously close to Fred Hampton-esque type ideals, dangerously close to COINTELPRO, J. Edgar fucking Hoover. I'm sorry, this looks way too familiar. What are you doing in Atlanta? And why is no one making more noise? And where the entire fuck are you getting $90 million from when 20% of your populace is at or below the poverty line? Make it make sense.
They withheld that from the Ukraine package. Fine by. But either way, um, this is bad. And then also, not that most people care about the environment, but like you said, they are taking down forests, and that forest is very key because I seen also an article where it actually helps protect the city of Atlanta, flood and stuff of that, things of that nature. And so now you destroy that, that's going to leave that city more vulnerable to natural disasters. Double whammy. But yeah, Cop City, as you just said, and I think they know the numbers. I think all the cop pleasers and guzzlers all know that having more police presence, like you said, does not stop crime. They do not protect you. They do not stop anything. This is all reactionary. All this money should be going to prevention. But no, we just can't do it. And you can't say that's not the case. You look at statistics, hell, you can even look outside wherever you live. If you live in a impoverished neighborhood and if you can make your way to the quote unquote suburbs and yada yada, you will see a huge difference. And what is the difference? That's not even a race thing. It's a freaking income thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if we fix that, we won't need cops. Because obviously they're bored. They got nothing to do. I know we came up with stats like this might have been, I don't even know how long we've been doing this, but this was probably before we even did the visual stuff. But the statistics is that the crimes or the quote unquote felonies or violent crimes that they stop per year is way less. So majority of the time they're just sitting there doing nothing. And we all know ain't nothing worse than a bored cop. So, and they do have quotas to meet because someone who was on the force admitted to it and all that. So the evidence is all there on the field. So I don't know how anyone in their right rabbit ass mind, politician, citizen, whatever, can debate these facts. These are facts. The solution is not even under your nose, it's right in front of you. You're looking at it. And we keep doing the same stupid shit. And I know why, it's because it's what this system is based on. But come on. Come on.
I mean, looking back at when I was being raised, the power of propaganda and media is scary.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like I was brought up on GI Joe and a real American hero. And of course, who were the enemies? The Russians. I was brought up on Hulk Hogan, and I am a real
Real
American.
American.
Just one big ass "Go America" promo. And who were the enemies in the WWF? Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, so a guy from Iran or some of the Middle East and a Russian. And and it's the good guys always win. And it's just amazing the brainwashing that occurs. Now, cowboys and Indians, and of course the Indians were the bad ones. Meanwhile, the damn cowboys are the ones in foreign land stealing shit. I say that to say the latest round of propaganda is
Propaganda.
propaganda. Cops are your friends. You need more police presence. BLM is a terrorist organization. They're just trying to burn everything down. There is literally no evidence to that.
No, there's
But
evidence being
the
being stupid, but not doing that.
but
But
the media, especially Fox News and Fox and Friends, they'll have you thinking BLM is just out here trying to tear the country apart. And this is why you dig up 90 million freaking dollars to build a fucking cop city when that 90 million dollars can build low income housing. It
lots,
can get job opportunities. Like you're
lots.
not in you're not interested in prevention, you're interested in punitive. You're interested in keeping the machine oiled with fresh souls.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
And by the way, this is Georgia, so Atlanta is probably blue as hell. Georgia is red as but no, remember Stacey Abrams flipped it. Yay. Well, what good is that doing us now? See, when you start asking questions, and people don't like to do this, but you need to. We start, and goes back to San Francisco. You start asking racial questions, it gets very interesting very quickly. Because as of what? We had 2 terms of Obama, 1 term of Trump. We on a term of Biden. So that is 12 years of asses, 4 years of donkey, or whichever the hell it goes. But the reason it doesn't matter, right? But whichever the way you slice it, when you look at certain metrics, black unemployment, black home ownership, what do those numbers say under I? These are the numbers I'm concerned with. How are black folk doing? How do folks that look like me do? And it's not great. It's not great. And you can trump up any reason, no pun intended, for that. But you haven't we're still living in a country that hasn't accepted what happened in 1865. Like that's the reality situation. Guess what? The South fucking lost. They lost. Okay, lost. Got it. Lost. Nope. They don't understand. They don't understand. And like in living in Texas, I can tell you, okay, every now and again I come across like situations you can hear people talk and it's just so inbred and like ingrained. Like I say that to go back to though. I apologize. I went on one tangent. This is bad. You found $90 million for this because you believe in law and order. You believe in the blue. You believe the problem is police aren't well trained. You're correct. Police aren't well trained. They're not well trained in how to deal with matters of people in poverty, especially black and brown people in poverty. But instead of getting that training, you're going to build a facility to where they have more accuracy in how they dispose of us.
And control and limit. Cut off your water supply. Yeah, it's all suppression tactics.
And see, this is the part where I know, and I know I might sound like a hypocrite, but I kind of get it. This is why you don't take the guns away. This is why.
It's
Now
not
you
gonna
don't
solve
go
nothing.
mass shooting people, but this is why you don't take the guns away.
It's not gonna
Because
solve nothing. Because what do we just say? If let's just say they built the cop city, blah blah blah. There's more law enforcement, and people are still riding and fed up. So now there's a war going on. Not gonna win
all
that.
right. Okay, so now it's time to do something and end up on an FBI watch list. So if there are 25 of us, we have our own we have our own munitions stockpile. We have land where we have grown our own food. We already have in place our own system of, shall we say, pseudo government. That's the general, that's the lieutenant general, so on and so forth. We have a recognized chain of command, right? When it all, we have walkie talkies, form of communication long distance. We have gasoline. We have vehicles that are all terrain. When it all turns to shit and it all starts looking like The Walking Dead, we'll be okay. And we'll know the lay of the land. We'll know the terrain. We can live off the grid and don't bother anybody.
It's not gonna
So,
happen. We already
why
had
can't
this
it?
conversation because no, we're
Why,
not doing that.
who's
We're
we?
we're
Militia are doing it every freaking day.
how many of that are us?
That's a good question.
And
That's a
that
question I
and
can't answer.
that's I see. That's why I'm not talking about the militia that we see, with them. I'm talking about us because you brought up a thing that Killer Mike said a long time ago. It was like we're not ready for a revolution. We're not. That's majority of people in general, not just black people, but black people in specific, and because Atlanta is primarily black. How many of
Right,
them you think
Atlanta's
are ready
about
for that?
50% black.
How many people you really think are ready for that and not doing the same dumb shit that we listen on hip hop? We're not ready for war for real. We just like listening to it. So it's like, nah.
I mean, should
If
we
if,
enter,
if Cop
this
City
sad reality?
happens and they said let's get it, it's a wrap. You do everything we tell you to do. All your rights are gone. It's easy submission or get eliminated. Either way. That's why
I
I
mean,
said
you
like
gotta.
nothing we can do. The guns ain't gonna save
I'm.
us. Like we already
I mean,
expected.
I see. Like I said, I think, and this is why I don't. A friend of mine or associate, because not we have a fundamental difference, and follow me on this one. He wants, like, even the term generational wealth. Like, I've fallen out of love with that idea because what it does is it makes you. It goes back to something Umar Johnson has said. And please do not misunderstand me. I am not a Umar Johnson advocate per se. I think the brother's passion for his people is undeniable, and I think he said some things that make perfect sense. And one of the things he said, and I really tried to pick this apart and find an opposing viewpoint, but he was like, successful Negroes don't want no part of revolution. I'm like, huh? But when you
Makes
start
sense.
talking in terms of wealth, money, job, um, neighborhoods, you know, you're talking about essentially being dependent upon the system. And it goes back to Morpheus mode. You have to be aware, Neo. Some of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And some of them are so dependent, so hopelessly inert on the system that they will fight to protect it. And that has never left me. And I'm like,
I mean, because it's something you sent me. Someone mentioned, I guess, an indigenous person of here. It's like I said, to paraphrase, you know, when the colonizers came, we didn't have laws, we didn't have jails, we didn't have. It was all about our fellow man protecting and looking after each other. Had nothing to do with money, punishing people, yada yada. You can't steal something if it belongs to all of us. So it's like, yeah. But no one, we don't have that mindset where everything is belongs to us or each other's. It's mine. This is mine. This property is mine. The land that was here before any of us even existed. That makes no damn sense. Borders make no damn sense. Like all of this makes no damn sense. Why am I
it really
paying
doesn't.
to breathe? Why is everything cost? I'm being taxed for my life. We're literally
Mm,
being charged to live.
mm,
Then you charge
mm.
after you die too, which is even the worst thing. Like I'm already gone, you're still charging people. So it's like, yeah, it's. He's right. When the
Mm.
colonizers came, everything changed. It went worse. Went to shit. But hey,
But I mean, I circle back to where I was going. There was like, certain kind of people will not be with the shits.
a lot of people
But
will not be with the shits. Not just sir.
well, see, the thing is, the people that's with the shits, you're not gonna immediately know. If if I'm talking, I said a group of 25,
It's not
group
enough.
of 30, it absolutely is.
No, it's not.
You don't, bro. You gotta think in terms of how much it takes to feed 30 people. Like everything else is cheap. You can be stockpiling weapons now. You live in Texas, there's no limit on how many guns you can own in your home. You live in certain states in the South, ain't no limit. So the stockpiling of ammunition is easy. It's the
But
food
listen,
and water
but
part
listen,
that's gonna be
the
the
food,
challenge.
the water, the electricity, no phones, no Wi-Fi, all the stuff that you're so
That's
accustomed
not
to.
if no,
Bruh,
that's
there's people that
nah.
get this is a new generation. There's people that get upset and don't know what to do when the Wi-Fi is off. Or you lose power in your home. You're sitting there bored and miserable. So you mean to tell me you think all these people, civilized people, will just go wherever and go live in the forest and it just be
And
easy
that's
like
why I
that?
said 25 and 30. That's why I said
Okay
25
then.
and 30.
You just blackballed your own thing. You just said majority of the people are going to defend this system because this is what we're used to. This is what we're bred to believe. This is what we need.
Okay.
Why live in savagery?
But like I said, I just got done watching the last episode of The Walking Dead. That was an awesome show. But there are some parallels there. And it's like, yeah, if it all falls down, you're going to need a Rick Grimes kind of crew. You're gonna need well, how big was Rick Grimes' crew? At most, they got to what, like 15, 20.
And what happened to him? See, and that's the sad part. But as the seasons went on, it got smaller and smaller. Rick is
I
not going to
mean,
lead you. You gonna die.
that is not, yo, that
You
is not
gonna
true.
die. So
That is
I hope
so
I
not
don't run
true,
into a
yo.
Rip Grimes. I think I'd be better about my
I
dad.
mean, you don't want to roll with a Negan, but yeah,
Man, I mean, his people died. Okay.
all of them. Like when you got to the end of it all, Rick still had a good 8 to 10 people standing.
How many you just said? That's not
I
good
said
numbers.
15.
That's not good numbers.
I
No, they had more than that.
everybody.
They had a whole community of these dead. In fact, Rick died his damn self, or at least we thought, but whatever.
No, Rick ain't dead. Michonne ain't dead. Like
His
there's no,
son
you know what
did.
I mean? That was kind of sucky. That was kind of sucky.
Yeah, no, don't run into Rip Grimes, my guy. Stay in the matrix. Stay plugged in. That's what I'm recommending to you.
Mm, nah, I mean like because if Cop City happens and stuff like that starts being duplicated,
Oh, it will.
everybody
It will.
everybody gonna be down with the team, and you're gonna need some folk that's ready to unplug from the matrix. And there are some. It's just they're hard to find because there ain't that many. And that's something you got to keep under super wraps. What you can't afford is a rat.
But there's always a rat.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think
Yes.
about it. If I know, I mean, look at us. If I knew two more people like myself, you knew two more people like yourself, we had six. If they knew
Mhm.
somebody like themselves, now we had eight. It
You're
ain't
expand. You're expanding too much, and all it takes is one.
nah,
That's
nah.
one person can tear out a whole operation when it comes to stuff like that. And secrets are very hard to keep.
I mean, we ain't doing nothing but preparing. Stockpiling ammo. Got a nice plot of land. Build our own shelter.
I
We
mean,
doomsday
besides us,
prep.
dry snitching on this podcast, so yeah, now it's kind of out there. But yeah,
Oh, like I said, what,
good to
what
see
did I say to
you.
start with? I said, up, time to go to FBI watch list. Like I
So,
said,
yeah, yeah, we live in a secret now. We about to secret as an Illuminati. Oh, let's
like,
go,
why
Lord.
has this Crown Victoria been following me for the last 26 miles? But But yeah, it can be done. I mean, hell, it gets to the point where it might have to be.
Oh, it's definitely
All
gonna have
right.
to.
So last piece of thing we have here. This was rather disturbing and disturbing for multiple reasons. In Georgia, no less. In Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I want again, we touched on a lot of things, and we touched on the power of media. And here's propaganda and agendas. So what you sent me from Daily Loud made it a headline: Gay couple sexually abuses children and pimps them out, to some paraphrasing there, but after Daily Loud for doing that. When I went searching a little bit, and ironically on Fox News of all things, it reads: Georgia couple accused of sexually abusing adopted boys. Husband bragged about molesting son. Okay, so there you see there's a difference there.
Mm.
There's a difference there. Um, the comment section under what you sent me was horrible, 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 horrible. I can't really see the comment section of the article I'm looking at because it's from Fox News. But the comment section under what you sent me was a tweet was horrible. A whole bunch of
Torture.
um,
That's what it was. Torture.
a whole bunch of homophobic statements, so on and so forth. And the
Oh boy.
problem with it is it focused on the gay part, not the abuse part.
Yeah, I don't understand that part. But
Oh, I
that's
do.
pushing. Oh, I know. I
I
do. I know. I'm saying I understand it, but I'm me
have.
saying, little boys are being abused, and that's what you pick up because they're a sexual orientation of the adopted parent.
Mm-hmm.
That could happen to anyone.
Jump right
Heterosexual.
past Mm,
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
jump right past correlation to causation. Like this why? Because they gay. Like no. Let's
Nah, that wasn't why. I mean,
no, because they're pieces of shit. That's why.
yeah, that's anyone.
That, that's why. They're pieces of shit.
Just pretty
And
sure
and
it
and,
happens.
and it's just I don't. This is gonna sound real odd. It is gonna be a soundbite,
Mm,
but I need folks to understand. So go ahead and sound by the way. I
mm.
don't like the notion of a pride parade. I
Oh,
don't like the notion of gay rights.
oh.
You know why? You know why? Because I don't give a shit who you love. If you love somebody and they
Mm,
love you back, run with it. That
mm.
is not. That is not to me. Hold on.
Better lock that up because you about to. I can pick that apart right now. Go ahead.
Well, hold on. TV time out. To me, that is not when you are love based. Then it starts and ends there. I don't really care if you're a guy and you like guys, if you're a girl like girls, you're trans, like if you love somebody, they love you back. There we go. But I also understand the system, the white supremacist system under which we live, persecutes you for that very thing.
Okay, there you go. See, I'm glad you
So
covered your
the
track.
middle finger is a pride parade. The middle finger is got to be loud because there are still these fucking morons who will not hire you because you are a guy who likes a guy. There are fucking idiots who will not hire you, who will try to beat you up because you're a girl who likes a girl. And it's like, no, you have to take a stand. You have to be big and bold and brash and in your face. And as a black man in this country, oh boy, do I understand.
Oh, so
So while
see,
I
see.
may not like it, and it's not because I don't want to see. No. I love seeing love. I don't get the notion of you get special privileges or this or that or you this because of who you love, but I understand why it has to happen, and I
I'm
hope we get to the point where it don't matter.
about to say. everything you said. I'm glad you wrapped it up because I had to pick it apart with just the two last statements you said. And hopefully it don't
Mm,
sound like the beginning of what you said because that sounded horrible. But
no. I get it. I totally get it. Because it's like it's stupid to me from the standpoint of, yo, if this is my partner, we together, I got health insurance, they got health insurance. If this is my partner, we together, and they're in the hospital, I don't need to be fucking married to go in that room and give last orders and figure out if we need to pull a plug on them. But that shit happens. It's heartbreaking to hear same-sex couples and one person can't go make decisions on their partner's life because, oh, well, you're not married. Are you fucking serious?
that's
So
for
I
yeah for heterosexual
understand.
too. But yeah, that's messed up.
So I understand. Yeah, we need a pride parade. We need something in your face. We need something that's celebratory, that gives them the middle finger. I understand. Right? And for Daily Loud to be so ridiculously careless with this headline, no retraction, no correction, no context, nothing. It is just a headline. I went through it to see, are you going to give this context? Are you going to explain? Nope. Gay couple molest boys. And I can only imagine what it's like being a part of the LGBTQ community because, you know, there's an out right there. But this ain't the situation you want to start saying, hey, this ain't what's good, even though it's very much true. So I'll say it for you. This is some bullshit. The people that have done this, the guys that did this, are pieces of shit on their own merit.
Worse than that, but yeah.
Yeah, you definitely get, you know, you get your ticket punched to the Hitler Wing of Hell for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Uh,
You get like, yeah, you get your ticket punched. For
yeah,
sure, for sure.
definitely.
But yeah, come on in, homie. You and Mr. Square Mustache, y'all gonna be chilling. For sure, for sure. But I just
Where was
I
that?
I I can't believe we in 2023 and dealing with this shit, yo. Like
I can.
we still doing this.
Yes, we are. There's agendas to be pushed. Cop agendas,
Oh
gay
my
agendas, black people agendas, relationship agendas, generals
god.
agendas.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Oh my
okay,
God,
man.
man. I'm
And
done. I'm so
I
sick
don't
of
know
it.
about you. That is my most tiresome agenda right
Oh
there.
my
Just
God.
I like I done snoozed people, I unfriended, unfollowed, because I swear to
Man,
goodness,
that's why I
in
barely use social media,
2023,
bro. That's why I
if you
barely use.
still what men need to, what women need to, shut
Yeah,
up.
just shut up. Just shut up.
Just
Go outside, bro. Because the numbers don't even back up the shit that they be saying. That's what makes it even more funny.
that. Yeah, that's one thing. Like, ooh, I saw a post yesterday. I'm like, yeah, that's gospel. There's like people out here getting fed up by the other sex based on experiences they ain't even have. Y'all out here reading what somebody else done went through and getting mad at other dudes, getting mad at other women. Like, you weren't, this ain't your experience. Like you said, go outside, fam.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's, the numbers back it up. Like well, don't back up what they're saying. Like the numbers say, like especially the black, dating all that
Mm-hmm.
shit community. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, majority of black people date and marry and have kids with black people. That's the numbers. Interracial and all that other shit is still minority. It's not a problem.
But you know, but yeah, circling back, I just, I think I read they're facing 9 life sentences.
That still sounds like mercy. But hey,
Nah, cause you know what's going. I mean, I'm not condoning it, but we both know prison is its own ecosystem. And
even
the
that might be too
morale.
humane for them, to be honest with you. But I hear you.
Oh, that's yeah, that's this. It's gonna oof. You got oof. And I'm just like, I still stand by what I said. It's a sickness. It is absolutely a sickness.
I mean, if you're
Um,
born that way, so how do you? Have we talked about this subject yet? Are we going to ever
well,
touch
hold
it?
on, let me hold on. Let me clarify that last statement so it doesn't get taken out of context.
All
I
right.
am not saying being homosexual is a sickness.
You talking
I'm
about
saying being a
pedophilia?
pedophile is
Yeah,
being, yeah,
yeah.
that is a sickness. That is absolutely a sickness.
Oh,
So,
it's a sickness that
but
affects a lot of people, apparently. especially highly weird. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother other shit. But yeah, that's the problem, man. But all right, let's run it back. I'm sorry, I'm gonna recap it, but what else you got on that, man?
On what? Oh, yeah. We got so off topic. Yeah. Yeah, there are pieces of worse things that I probably can't say on the internet. And yeah, hope everything bad and under the sun happens to them. The jail and whatever's gonna happen in jail is too humane for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like we said, I don't like the agenda being pushed on, the gay agenda. Like, see, this is what happens when like no. This stuff like this unfortunately happens to everyone. Heterosexual, poly, whatever. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately. So it's just unfortunate that it was a gay couple. Okay. But yeah, so stop with the homophobia and all that stuff, man. No one should care at the end of the day. As long as
Right.
kids and kids aren't getting hurt, in this case, some did. That's when we started the outcry. But we don't do the whole movement, a whole group of people based on some stupid.
Mm. No.
But yeah, feel bad for the boys. Hopefully they get justice and recover and find peace with themselves. And yeah, stop with the gay agenda stuff, people.
Mm. All right. I'll run it back. Recap. Let's run it back to Cali. Another mass shooting. Another 10 people dead. Another illegal gun. I really want. What is this? This is January.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we're not. I don't want to have this conversation again until June. The sad reality of it is we might be having this conversation again
Next
in
week. That's the sad part.
March.
Next week.
But San Francisco treat. And I ain't talking about the Niners and Rice Aroni. 5 mil to black people. And that is one of the most beautifully written statements. I'm gonna follow this to see what happens. And boy, oh boy, you could just switch San Francisco for any other southern city and get the same result, if not more money, a higher dollar amount. China, I don't trust yourself because trusting the government, I'm not sure how far that's gonna get you because it seems like going from one extreme to the next. And trust yourself, do what you got to do to keep yourself safe because relying on the government is just not looking like a good look right now.
Ever.
Cops, Cop City. This is this is disgusting on a lot of levels, and it's a problem on a lot of levels. And this should be, I mean, as if we didn't have it before, but this should be the wake up call to citizens who would ride this damn Second Amendment and guns. Stop shooting worthless shit and start organizing. Sorry if that puts me on the FBI watch list, but oh well, that's kind of what we're here for. Yeah, I said it. Um, and for those 2 people who are pieces of scum who happen to be gay, yeah, you gonna get what's coming to you, and it ain't gonna be pretty.
Ain't gonna
Daily
be pretty.
Loud, yeah, Daily Loud, stop, be a little more responsible. If you're gonna be a journalist, be a little more fucking responsible. Okay, your recap, sir.
Yeah. Um, Another mass shooting. Yeah, it's. I'm sorry. I guess I should do continue the cycle, thoughts and prayers. And then yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens. Probably nothing because we're infatuated with the amendment and guns. The reparations. Yeah. Nas couldn't have written a better law over things, so it was written. I like that. Shout out to Nas. And we'll see if this goes triple platinum or not, or it goes nothing. So let's see. Hopefully, it goes triple platinum or diamond. Um, China. Yeah. Wu said the best protection neck. That's what you should do. Like, stop relying on people. Just protect your neck and whoever else next you care about. That sounded wrong. But Cop City. Yeah, that's abomination in every level. Environmentally, humanly, spiritually, religiously, whatever lead. There's a lot of leads. Stop it. You know, and yeah, to the predators that happen to be a gay couple, that's it. Prison and what's going to happen to you. It's too humane, but that's what's going to happen. So enjoy. And when you go, you should probably have your head, your brain evaluated. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Another great show. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a blast doing it. Hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Same bad time, same bad channel. On behalf of myself and my co-host from the Yeah I Said It podcast. Peace.
Yeah.